Welcome to today's really easy foam finger puppet tutorial. I'm Helen at Papered Spaces and I sell boxes and candles online at etsy.com/shop/papered spaces. So today we're going to make these musical note finger puppets. I've chosen these because I teach the piano. This will really help my students. Today I'm making a quaver, a crotchet, a minim, a dotted minim and a semibreve, or if you're in the States, an eighth note, a quarter note, a half note and a whole note. But don't forget, you can also use exactly the same technique to make all sorts of finger puppets, such as these animal finger puppets that I've made here. So you'll need first of all some coloured craft foam like this. I got it in loads of different colours. It's really easy to find on eBay. Just have a search for craft foam and there you go, the second result. Looks like something that's very suitable and cheap. Craft shops will also have this. Secondly, superglue. I recommend superglue rather than normal PVA because it needs to be quite strong. Some ordinary scissors, a pencil, and optionally some googly eyes or some decoration like gems or stickers. It's easy to find googly eyes on eBay. A simple search brings up loads and loads of different options, different colours. So here is everything that you need. Perhaps the one tricky thing about this is making sure that there's enough space for your finger. Mine takes up that much space, so bear that in mind when you're making the puppets. First of all, draw around the main shapes. So think about, for example, the largest parts of your puppet. Mine is going to be the note head, so I've drawn one just there. And that's wide enough for me to comfortably glue down around my finger on both ends. So you can see that is about the size I'm looking for there. Now cut around the main shapes, just like that. And you'll end up with the main part of your puppet. So my note head looks just like that, with plenty of finger space. Now draw around that shape again. This is very important because you need two identical shapes to fit around your finger basically. And here is the drawn around shape, and I've now cut out two identical shapes just like that. Now it's important to check that your finger fits inside with enough space to glue down on each side, and yes it does. Now if you want you can just neaten up the shapes, trim off any excess foam so that they're exactly the same size, just like that. Now it's time to repeat the process with other shapes. If you have one with a tail or another bit of the puppet like this, you only need to put that detail on one side of your matching shapes. As you can see with some of the other notes, I've also cut out the middles of them, which again is absolutely fine. That's what gives the detail. Now it's time to glue the shapes together. So what you need to do is glue where you can, but leave plenty of space for your finger in the middle. So on this blue note, I'm going to glue up one side, use the glue sparingly, and then up the other side, with leaving the big gap in the middle, and then I'm going to gently press together the two pieces. Do be really careful not to get your fingers caught with super glue because it can literally bind your fingers together in seconds. Once the glue has dried, you can just check that there's enough space for your finger inside each one. The super glue makes that a really strong bond. Do obviously supervise small children and be careful of any small parts that you might use, but essentially that is not going to fall apart easily with a bit of rough treatment, so that should be absolutely fine. Finally, and you could ask your kids to help with this because this is the most fun part, if they're careful with the super glue, you can add in little accessories such as googly eyes. There we go, I'm adding a blue googly eye to this note. You can also write on it in biro, you can add stickers, gems, whiskers, anything you like really. So here are my finished accessorised notes. As you can see, I've added eyes to all of them. I've also used some additional foam to add things like mouths, and just be creative, you can do anything you like. I haven't done the other side of that blue one because it doesn't make sense as a note that way, but if it does make sense, if it's an animal or something, then do accessorise it on both sides so that there's no wrong side, if you see what I mean. as I've done with this semi-breve or whole note. So here are the finished note finger puppets, and you can see how easy that was. I made animals in exactly the same way, focusing on a main body and then adding details like tails on just one piece of foam and then some accessories. So there you have it. Thank you very much for watching. This is Helen at Papered Spaces. More soon.